What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, back at it again to discuss the latest developments in the Attack on Titan story. And this is the second last chapter ever, and it was crazier than you could have ever imagined. So many insane twists and reveals, so make sure to stay tuned for this one. If you do enjoy seeing these Attack on Titan videos and want to keep them coming, make sure to Warhammer smash that like button until it's blue and subscribe with the notification bell so you know the second the last chapter review comes out. And while you wait a whole month for the last chapter to drop, feel free to check out our colossal Attack on Titan playlist with videos about all Titan shifters and their powers, all Ackermans, the Titans running from weakest to strongest, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Now, without further ado, let's jump into this insane chapter, spoilers and all. This chapter is called A Long Dream, and we'll get more into that later. Again, we see a baby, and babies can serve as a symbol for the future. This little guy is left along with many others as the colossal titans have stopped moving and are falling down. And this is happening since Eren has been separated from the centipede creature. The rumbling has been stopped and the remaining world is saved, or at least that's how it seems at this point. But with Isayama, you can never be too sure. We see Falco's flying titan again, and they watch as the bones of Eren's giant skeletal titan disappear. Mikasa's head is aching again. She's reminded of when Eren called Ackerman slaves with no free will, and he told her he always hated her. Mikasa doesn't want to accept that will be one of the last things he said to her face. She doesn't want to leave it at that. I'm hoping we will learn more about Mikasa's headaches before the story is over. What Eren told Mikasa, which I don't believe, is that once an Ackerman awakens, they often suffer from sudden headaches, and that this happens out of the true self trying to resist being forced to protect the host. According to what he said, the real Mikasa disappeared in that mountain cabin at 9 years old, leaving a slave to Ackerman instincts behind. There's still so much that I feel like we have to learn about the Ackermans. For now though, we move on to what could be a happy-ish ending. All things considered, many are reunited with their parents and families like Gabby, Peak, Falco, and even Annie eventually, but we'll get to that. The Survey Corps has their regrets, but they're happy they managed to stop the rumbling. Reiner in the meantime is still fighting the shiny centipede creature that started all this in the first place when it attached to Ymir Fritz about 2,000 years ago. Armin's in his colossal titan. Reiner is beat up but not dead as usual. The plot armored titan is going strong, and still the centipede creature is not dead after the explosion either. It's still struggling for survival, and it will be interesting to see how long this creature can survive outside of the founding titan host. As we may have guessed, Eren isn't dead. Even Jean says he knew it. He transforms into his own colossally sized titan body while maintaining his signature long hair, so he could match up well with his old best friend, the current colossal titan user. Gabby tells them to keep Eren away from the shiny centipede, or else the rumbling could start again. And while everyone is wondering how they could kill the centipede creature that survived an explosion, Levi replies that Eren might be the key. The nightmare won't finish until they kill Eren, our protagonist. How insane and dark is this for a series that is classified as a shonen? It's crazy. Mikasa's head is still aching as she wonders why things have to end this way. In the meantime, as Eren is preparing to face off against Armin, the Titan centipede unleashes some gas, and oh man, it is not a good sign. We see Annie's dad talking to a Marleyan as he says, and I quote, "We've made enough mistakes, let's take care of this together," end quote. And Annie's father agrees before he comes face to face with his long lost daughter. Now, the idea of a common enemy to rally around is nothing new to Attack on Titan. In fact, the founding titans until Grisha and Eren believed that fear of titans was the only path to any lasting peace. However, another quote from this series is that peace between men will never be certain, not until our numbers fall to 1 or less, end quote. So can Eren hope that he made the world suffer enough already for lasting peace to occur in a pain from Naruto kind of way? Perhaps. I mean, it's pretty clear now that Eldians helped to stop him and save the world, and it definitely brought the two sides together for now. But as was mentioned before, as long as there's more than one human alive, that peace can never be certain. As humans, as long as there's more than one of us left alive, all we can do is trust, hope, and try again. But back to the long-awaited reunion with Annie and her father. Unfortunately, before they can even hug, the smoke from the creature has made it to them. We jump to Levi and the others on the Flying Titan, and he makes sure they all get on, including Peak, so they can get out of here. As he says, Ackermans and shifters are the exception. They won't turn into Titans when exposed to this stuff, which, as Connie noticed, is the same thing as Ragako Village, where the entire village's inhabitants were turned into Titans. And this smoke method obviously makes more sense than if they spent time injecting every last person in the village with Titan serum. You might ask, why don't they take anyone else with them? It was probably too late to outrun the smoke. Everyone was exposed, and now it's only a matter of time before they turn. So if they were on the Flying Titan, they'd simply turn into Titans and turn on everyone else there. Thus, Peak has to say goodbye to her family, and we have to say goodbye to Connie and Jean, as well as Gabby, although people probably don't care that much about saying goodbye to her. I'm not sure what happens here with seemingly Falco activating the Scream, which usually turns the infected into Titans. Was he taken control of in that instance, or did it just happen to look like a Scream? That remains to be seen, but it is weird. People don't turn immediately after it, but soon enough. We got a powerful and touching moment between Jean and Connie as they prepare for the end, and Connie brings up how they did end up saving the world thanks to Jean. This really is the Game of Thrones of anime with the character deaths. Although I'm sure Attack on Titan will end much more satisfactory, but the point is we've lost so many people, and now even Jean and Connie too. And of course, just as Annie and her dad are about to reunite, her dad along with everyone else turns to a Titan at the same time, and there are Titans everywhere. Onyankopon is not in good shape, and it doesn't help that all around him people are turning into Titans. Luckily, he is with Annie, so he's not all alone. Still though, how horrible is this situation? Just a little while ago, the Marleyan and Annie's dad were smiling and hopeful of working together in peace, and now we see the Marleyan's face, and he is horrified as he looks at the Titans. Do we really think that that horror will let him spare the remaining Eldians if they somehow make it out of this alive, and if the Marleyans have a chance to kill them? Again, Attack on Titan refuses to give us any easy answers or solutions. The Titans are clearly all being controlled by the centipede creature, just like Eren was controlling Titans before. So it is possible that this creature might have used Falco and made him scream to transform the others. The problem with that though is, why is the creature letting Armin and Reiner fight it then if it can stop them? As Reiner points out, this creature summoned a Titan army and it attacks the armored Titan. Although Reiner says they're not getting past him, this dude was having trouble before the Titan army showed up. He's brave here, but the situation is far from hopeful. He even gets knocked around before we jump to Colossal Armin versus Colossal Eren with hair. Armin says he'll follow Eren until the end, which could very well mean he's accepted Eren's plan to take all the world's hatred on himself before letting them finish him off, making his friends the heroes who saved the world from the ultimate devil Eren Yeager. Reiner is again wrestling the centipede, but it's huge and he can't really do anything. We also see Titan Connie, Jean, and Gabby, along with some Titan parents, including Reiner's mom. Peak jumps down and transforms to help Reiner and bites the creature, and Annie's female Titan is there too, helping. In one panel, we actually get to see them fighting the centipede with all the Titans present and Armin and Eren fist fighting in the background. A pretty crazy scene. What a freaking action-packed chapter this is. Probably the most action-packed chapter in the entire series. Keep in mind, even though it seems pointless to try to kill this creature, it looks like they are succeeding in slowing it down a bit, since its goal is to reconnect with Eren, the founding Titan, and it keeps moving towards him with its Titan army. Mikasa's head keeps hurting, the most it's ever hurt in one chapter, that's for sure. Levi lets her know she's gotta get it together since they're the only ones that can kill Eren. Remember that Ackermans are immune from memory manipulation and probably from being controlled by the founding Titan as well. But also, the other Titan shifters are all busy with holding back the centipede too. Mikasa's headache leads us into what appears to be a dream, a what-if scenario, as she wishes to go back to her and Eren's home. We see a vision of them living in peace in a cabin, and Mikasa says she feels like she just had a long dream. Now, in this reality, alternate timeline, or whatever it is, our main story has been labeled a long dream. The most fascinating question here is if this is actually just as real in some sense as our darkest timeline that we're experiencing, or is it just pure fantasy? I hope we get more answers next chapter, but Isayama may well leave it open for interpretation. The thing is, we the readers, or at least I, wanted to see a happy ending for Eren and Mikasa, and in this way Isayama gave us a sense of what that would look like without actually changing the main storyline we've been experiencing up to this point. In this cabin world, Mikasa cries, saying she's not sure if she's supposed to be here, and Eren says that they can't do anything about that since they abandoned everything and ran away here. Here, it's been 2 months since the war against Marley ended, and they'll invade Paradise soon. Everyone would die if they don't run. Eren assumes that Armin is probably looking for them. Here, he couldn't decide what path to take, so he just wanted to live out the rest of his 4 years with Mikasa peacefully. The interesting thing here is that this is what King Karl Fritz decided to do on a larger scale when he escaped to the island and created the walls in the first place. Eren hated that, and yet here he decided to take a similar course. Interestingly enough, this Eren wants Mikasa to promise that once Eren dies, she'll throw away the scarf he gave her. Since she'll live long after he's gone, he wants her to forget about him and be free. And that makes much more sense coming from Eren compared to how he's been acting to Mikasa recently. And it seems that knowing he'd have to leave anyway because of Emir's curse, he said he hated Mikasa so it would be easier for her to move on from him. At his core, he wants what's best for Mikasa, and in his mind that means her being free of him. This could even possibly be Mikasa and Eren connecting through the paths, as Eren did before with the other Eldians. I love to see them hugging outside of that idyllic cottage house they got going on, and it goes to show how many options we have in life and how much different our lives can be depending on the decisions we make. Let me know your thoughts. Would it have been better if Eren had chosen to go out like this? Do you look at the 145th King's decision to create Paradis and await their deaths in peace in a different light now? In many ways, this cottage world would have been an easier decision for Eren to make because he wouldn't have to undergo such horrors himself. But at the same time, it would have most likely meant more horrors for Paradis Island. We then jump to Eren's colossal titan punching Armin's in the face with his hardened fists. You gotta love the hardened fists move, and if it even did damage on the armored titan's face, you can bet it will do so on the less defended colossal titan. Reiner is being attacked, as is Peak and Annie. We'll see what happens here, but if things keep going like this, we may actually get Jean, Connie, and or Gabby turning back into humans after they consume one of these shifters. I'm hoping Annie will survive and have some sort of future with Armin, even if it's short-lived, and I can see Gabby and Falco surviving together too, but Reiner, who's been fantasizing about death, may well die, unless Isayama wants to keep trolling us with the unbelievable luck of the plot armored titan. It's ironic that this guy, who keeps wanting to die and keeps throwing himself in death's way, keeps coming out of every situation alive somehow. So I honestly wouldn't even be surprised if he makes it out of this too. Then we see Mikasa refuse Eren's request, which although it was delivered in that fantasy world, seems to convey Eren's true thoughts to her in this world as well. She refuses to get rid of the scarf and to forget about him. She actually tightens it around herself and tells everyone else that she'll kill Eren, who's residing in the mouth of the Titan. Again, Eren might have communicated to her that he's in the mouth because he wants her to kill him. So the Eldians will be thought of as the heroes who stop the devil. It's a team effort, and the core characters like Armin and Levi help Mikasa get inside Eren's mouth. Now that's a weird sentence. Inside the mouth, she sees Eren's head there and smiles as she cuts it off. She says, "See you later, Eren," and we have the two worlds overlapping here. They kiss in both the cottage world and here, where Eren's head has been sliced off. And so we got the kiss we've been begging for for so long, although definitely not in the way we probably expected. And honestly, something like this is classic Isayama. You always have a darker twist to the romance, but damn, that was an impactful kiss. I had a really old video on YouTube about the top 10 most epic anime kisses of all time before I had to take it down due to copyright reasons. You know how YouTube works, but this definitely would make it into my revised list. I'm so glad we got this kiss because the series has been tiptoeing around their romantic feelings forever, so it's so nice to get something conclusive here. We're told, to the boy who sought freedom, goodbye. So it is a goodbye kiss, and even Ymir is over here smiling. And I'm sure we'll have many of our questions answered in the next and final chapter, like what's Historia saying, but wow, what a crazy climax this was to the series. In the middle of all this horror, we got such a romantic moment. Shakespeare would be proud. You definitely got some Romeo and Juliet vibes here, since even in Romeo and Juliet both kissed the other when they were dead or thought they were dead. And sorry for those Romeo and Juliet spoilers, but back to Attack on Titan. Why is Ymir smiling? Does she love seeing the good side of humanity? Or does that smile have something to do with the possibility that if the founding Titan dies without the centipede in it, she may finally be free and doesn't have to roam in the other world for the rest of eternity? We'll find out, but she wanted freedom from her enslaved existence. She wanted something to change, so if she's smiling, that might mean she's gotten what she wished for. This chapter was also a really huge one for Mikasa, where she proved once and for all that she wasn't a slave who had to protect Eren at all costs, and she did that by slicing off his head. Clearly, that is the opposite of protecting someone. And ironically, even though she was willing to kill him, she refused to stop loving him as he wanted her to. Talk about your complicated love stories. By killing the one she loved, she proved that she loved him out of free will and not out of some brainwashed Ackerman thing. Can't wait to find out more about everything in the next chapter, although you gotta expect that Isayama, like many others, could well leave a lot of things ambiguous and open to interpretation. Nevertheless, this was a great chapter and probably the most romantic one despite the tragic circumstances. That is it for this one, and we only have one more chapter to go, people. Let me know if you loved this one or hated it and what you want from the final chapter ever. I did my first Attack on Titan chapter review almost 4 years ago now, and it's crazy to think how far the story has come since then and how far the channel has come since then too. Thank you guys for being along for this crazy, amazing ride, and I hope you'll join me next month when I cover, in probably a bittersweet way, the final chapter ever of Attack on Titan. It's tragic that our protagonist seems to be gone for good, but I think we all predicted that would be the outcome, and having accepted that, I'm so glad we got that kiss before it was all over. If you did enjoy this review and got some value from it, make sure to Warhammer smash that like button until it's blue. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when the final chapter drops. And while you wait a month for the next and final chapter, feel free to check out our colossal Attack on Titan playlist with videos about the Titan shifters, the Ackermans, the Titans ranked from weakest to strongest, and much more. Link to that is in the description. Remember, just because the manga is ending doesn't mean that Attack on Titan discussion has to stop, and it definitely will keep going on this channel. And I especially want to thank the patron squad over on Patreon and here on YouTube who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the patron of legend, the one acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, and the most donated champion of the world, Alpha Sigma, and are the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans in Grotto, the world, Acquire Respect, Bate, Hefa, Liam Thompson, Aljatal, Dr. Courtman, Johnny Boy Draws, Emperor Otaku, Spidey Life Tanel, Baked Buddhist, and Tungsten Tarkus. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Anatoly Kazatsky, Joe Stanton, Barry Gucci, Jessica Califon, Rathuan De Aura, Alicia Actor, Bonnie Parks, Hinokami and Water, The Red Haired Raven, Joanne Garcia, Jack Watches Anime, Fatboy Games, Ted No Ted, Deadly Saint, Matthew Cruz, and Anthony Schreiber. Thank you all so much. If you do enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing epic people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord where we talk about anime, life, waifus, and of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar. Link to that is in the description if you're interested. You can also join the YouTube channel by clicking that blue join button next to the subscribe button that you've hopefully already clicked. So yeah, you can support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.